Parental discretion advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to What a Story. Today's guest is a comedian in the Southern Ontario area. So you're a comic. How long you been doing comedy?
9 years on the 17th of this month.
Oh, cool. And
Yeah.
what projects you got going on?
I'm working on two new tours this year. I've got one in March, April happening, and then I've got another one happening in September, October. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm also building my album this year to actually record it finally.
Oh, cool. And so what got you into comedy?
What got me into comedy? A friend of mine died.
Okay.
She was like childhood friend, 36 years old, cancer, dead in like 6 months. And I just figured I had to do something because nothing ever fit for me, like I did a whole bunch of different jobs. Like I was a graphic designer and a house painter and a barista and, like all kinds of different things. And I always felt like something was missing. And so when she passed away, I was just like, oh, I really got to do something with my life. I can't live my life this way. And yeah, I ended up going to Yuck Yucks in the winter of that year with a friend who was visiting from Florida, just a friend I'd met playing video games. And it was the first snowfall of the year. And what I didn't know was that, because it was low turnout there, that that the comedians would be doing like B material, essentially, just trying things out. And so and it wasn't fantastic. No offense to any of them. But and so I thought to my egocentric self, I can do better than them. I can do this. Yeah, definitely. And so I wrote my first 5 minutes and performed at Yuck Yucks for my in Toronto for my first actual set and did pretty well. I followed Nigel Grinstead.
Oh, I
So
know. Yeah.
yeah, that was
That's
really cool.
cool. All right, cool. So you have a story? What's your story?
You want me to tell you about like touring story? What do you think?
Sure.
A touring
Yeah.
story? Okay. So I used to tour with two other guys, Scott and Frank, and both interesting dudes. One more standard than the other. One of them, self-diagnosed a bunch of things, and it's like, okay, I understand you need a little extra love. It's all right. But what he used to like to do is he used to like to be the hero in a situation, because he essentially did most of our booking, um, and that included hotels. But he hadn't had a lot of experience with doing that, and so we ended up, crisscrossing over the same cities a bunch instead of doing it in, a logical, step-by-step motion, rather than going back across the same place multiple times, which costs way more in gas and everything else. And so, those were some of the hard knocks that he took during our development. And one night, he booked us a hotel in Fruitvale. Have you ever heard of Fruitvale, BC?
Yeah. Well,
No, it's in like the Kootenay Mountains.
I know the Kootenay
So
Mountains.
yeah, it's down near Montana area, right? So yeah, Fruitvale is right next to Trail. Trail's big, well-known thing is that they have a lead smelter in the middle of the town, just bellowing out toxic fumes. Like the locals are a little different, like they're just born resilient in some way.
Just something
Um,
in the water. Something's in the
yeah,
water.
just something in the water right there. So anyway, he booked us right next to that little town in Fruitvale, and we went to this place, and it looked fairly deserted because there were no real cars in the parking lot other than ours. And we went inside, and there were lots of people actually in there, and they looked like they were living there, and they were, wearing comfortable stuff, like things you wouldn't be wearing in a lobby of a hotel, right?
Yeah.
And that's when we kind of noticed that this is where Vancouver had been shipping all of their, less fortunate people.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this hotel was the worst hotel experience I've ever had. Yeah, there were two little like double beds. There's three of us. Keep that in mind. There were two double
Okay.
beds, and there was a floor, but the floor had been so worn down it looked like it was made out of old cum. Like old cum floor, like just
Oh,
black and nasty the entire time. And so, we carefully crept around that floor and tried to like dodge some bugs and all that. Um, and then when it came time to choose where we were going to sleep at night, well, I'm a big boy. I snore like a chainsaw. So no one wants to sleep next to me. I get my own bed, right? Bed number 2 ended up being taken by Frank, who has horrible insomnia. So you can imagine us as a pair. Basically, he builds up like a pillow fort over his face, like an igloo, so that he can
Yeah.
actually survive the night. And then number 3, none of us really wanted to sleep next to each other because of our varying problems, essentially, with sleep. And so our hero of the day volunteered ahead of time because he booked the place and he saw that it was terrible. He
Yeah.
volunteered to take the floor. That's right. Scott took the cummy floor.
Okay.
We give him a couple pillows. We're nice to him. We give him a couple pillows, trying to like make it a little bit better. And we all kind of fall asleep. I fall asleep very easily. So, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I notice that there's like a yellow ghost in the room. Because at some point during the night, Scott had figured this is really uncomfortable. I'm going to go and try and sleep in the chair in the corner, but it wasn't like a high back chair or anything. So he'd be flopping around and everything else. So he figured out this was his brilliant solution. He'd go to the closet and get the emergency blanket, the bright yellow felt emergency blanket in every single hotel room you've ever been in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grabbed it, basically fireproof, right? And he put it over his head and he like scrunched it up and he just sat there for the rest of the night trying to sleep in and out, of consciousness. But not only that, he decided in his brilliant mind to take the chair and put it between the 2 beds. And I was at the far bed from the bathroom. So I'm waking up at 3 a.m. to go pee because I'm 45, right?
Yeah.
And I wake up to a yellow ghost, like the ghost of Christmas past, It was totally ridiculous. And I basically kicked him out of the way and went to the bathroom. But yeah, that's one of many weird stories with Scott.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
for your story. And I have a few of my own of touring, which, kind of
Yeah.
similar. 2 beds, 3 comics. So, Mike, if anybody wants to find you on social media, what are your socials?
It's at Mike Payne Comedy on any and all of them. So at Mike Payne Comedy, Payne is Payne. So like Max, but Mike. Yeah.
Okay, Mike. All right. And I will thank you for your story. And I will.
This is the point in my act where at least half of you are like, what the fuck? How do 4 gay people make this clearly male lesbian? No, it's pretty simple. My parents were together until I was 8, and then my mom got a haircut.